Hi, I'm Venkata from Park University. Today I want to discuss about the thin and thick client approaches towards the software architecture and my side of choice. While the industry goes back and forth between thick and thin clients, in general, both thin and thick clients have their own approaches, advantages, and disadvantages, and the choice of which to use completely depends upon the specific requirements of the application and the system being built, and like a balance between the centralized processing and the local processing power and the network load and the maintenance requirements. So just briefly going through the thick client, like thick client is a kind of workstation, and it is primarily used by one sole user, and like it places more processing on the client side, like with the server just serving as a database and the application server. Like we have an examples like Microsoft Office and Adobe Creative Suite. Like it is better suited for the applications that require a lot of processing power as well as the offline functionality. Like in the client architecture, the load on the network is lower, as because the client handles a large portion of the processing, but it can result in the client being more resource intensive. So the server side processing is reduced, but the client side programming will be more complex because it is a self-contained computer terminal, and like it continuously requires the individual attention for the maintenance and the upgradation. So it's a lot of time consuming thing. So coming to the thin client architecture, like most processing is done on the server side, and with the client just being a simple interface to the display data, the client side has a limited processing power, and it mostly acts as a display mechanism because the server handles the data storage, processing, and the security. So comparatively, it is more secure than thick clients. So I would prefer thick clients over the thin clients because thick clients are less vulnerable to malware attacks, and it has some more lifetime, and it uses the less power, and comparatively it is less expensive and easy to manage, and it is more scalable. Like we have an examples like Amazon Web Services and online applications like Google Docs. So, and the thin client architecture is it is better suited for the centralized storage data and the processing as well, and of course it's as I said, it's a low maintenance thing. Yeah, and coming to the role of the server side and client side programming and the load of the network in the thin client approach, the server side plays a crucial role in processing and storing the data, while the client side acts as a simple interface for displaying the data. And the server side programming focuses on handling the data, storage, processing, and the security, and also it runs the majority of the application logic, and is of course responsible for retrieving the data from the database and processing it to provide a response to the client. So, and the client side programming, on the other hand, will be it will be minimal and focuses on presenting the data received from the server to user in an appropriate format. So the client side is limited in terms of processing power, and it mostly acts as a display mechanism. Like the load of the network in a thin client will is higher as more data needs to be transmitted between client and the server for the processing. Like so it puts some more demand on on the server side and the network infrastructure. And in the present system, we have an examples like Google Docs and Amazon Web Services. So coming to the Google Docs, a cloud-based office suite that allows user to create and edit the documents, spreadsheets and the presentations online. And all the processing and storage are handled by the server, while the client acts as a simple interface for accessing and displaying the data. Like this allows for easy access from any location with an internet connection, but also of course it requires a reliable network connection for optimal performance. And another example which I would like to tell is about the Amazon Web Services. Like it is a cloud computing platform that offers a wide range of services, like including the computing, storage, and databases. So with AWS, users can access a variety of applications and services over the internet, with the processing and storage handled by the completely by the server. So even in this case, the client acts as a simple interface for accessing and interacting with the services. So because the majority of the processing will be done on the server side. So these are the this is my choice, and yeah, thank you.